this time, we'll ask Commissioner Rain to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this time, we'll please have our roll call.
Okay. Commissioner Vestavia Shepherd.
President.
Commissioner Isaac Owens. Vice Chairman J. Wesley Rainey.
Here.
Chairman Joshua Darrison.
Alive and present, thank you so much. All right. And this is my switcheroo. All right. Let the record reflect, we do have enough for a quorum. Doing that, Commissioner was not here to carry time. All right. Do we have a motion and a second to approve today's agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that we approve today's agenda. All in favor, let it be known by voice or aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. Approve of regular minute meetings from November 18th, regular meeting. Do we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that we'll approve the minute meetings for November 18th, regular meeting. All in favor, let it be known by voice or aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right. It appears we have no speaker appearances. Also appears we have none for specific agenda items. Okay. All right. At this time, we'll go right into our department head reports. All right, Mr. Hero, you're up. Community advancement.
Good morning, everybody. So the community advancement report for today is that working on putting together a workshop February the 19th for air property rights, and it will be held at the community clubhouse. This will help people who have air property that have not been able to clear title so that we can help move some property along in the city. We have a BZA meeting on December the 4th here in the courtroom for property at 712 South 8th Street. I'm reviewing some historic preservation grants right now. They're due in in December, so I will keep you updated. Had a chance to meet with the community development director on the Gillespie-Selden urban redevelopment plan, and the GIT conference that she attended. I'm sure she'll talk to you more about that. Senior fitness program. So there's a young lady in the City of Americas that does a program for seniors, workout program. She has people anywhere between 60 to 80 years old. So I've asked her to come and, I put her together with someone here that has a facility. We looked at doing it at the Department of Aging, but they are still in the midst of renovation. It will start on December the 3rd, which is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Flyers are available. And I also had it posted on the Facebook page and the website. So anybody that's interested in attending that, please take a look at that website. I'm in dialogue with the person that owns Tocracy Farm, which is the 40-acre lot across from or next to the farmers market. She is looking at trying to put together an event venue in the spring, or start opening it up in the spring. So we are in the midst of working on that. And lastly, Mary and I met with the Orchard subdivision. They are putting together their final plat. Should be submitting that to us in January. They'll go before the Planning Commission in February, and then hopefully in front of the City Commission in March. And that concludes my report.
So with the Orchard subdivision, what exactly is on the particular stage?
When they went back to replat it to make the lots more conformed, they ended up with 52 lots. So the original plat was approved, I think, in like 2017 or something like that. So they have to get the new plat reapproved through the planning commission, and then they come again before the city commission for final approval. Once that plat is approved, they'll record it, and then we can get the ball rolling with putting up some new homes.
Okay. All right, any other questions for Mr. Hill?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What is the status on the Christian home subdivision? I had several calls. Will they be opening the Christmas or do you know anything?
That was my initial understanding, but I can reach out to them and then I can always report back to you. Yes, ma'am.
And at the last city commission meeting, and that was the last update that I had, that they would be accepting applications. Okay. And then hopefully start moving residents in January.
Oh,
All right. Any other questions for Mr. Hill? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, pop right on up. Miss Alexander, how you doing this morning?
Well, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing
Good
all
morning
right.
to everyone.
good morning.
Okay, sales tax collection for the month of November was $449,068.93. That's all I have.
All right, any questions for finance? Seeing none. All right, thank you, Miss Alexander.
Thank you.
As I keep forgetting, let me make my announcement about the phones, because mine's have buzz and then Commissioner Shepherd has buzz. So it seems like we'll be talking to the choir this morning. Please, if you have a cell phone, put it on silent or vibrate, preferably silent, so that you would not disrupt the order of this meeting. If you need to take a call, please step outside of those doors, away from the doors, because sound travels pretty easily through them. And this is a regular meeting, so commentary will not be taken from the public unless the condition provided we're discussing an area where we may need some expert opinions or some direct information, and someone may have that information that we need to make a better decision. So those are two announcements that we'll make governing this meeting. So if you could go ahead and put your phones in silent vibrate, that would be helpful. All right. All right. Thank you. All right. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This will be for reporting period October 28th through November 24th. We had 107 total calls for service, 5 calls for grass or rubbish fires, 58 calls for medical assist, and I do want to recognize A-Shift. A-Shift ran a call to an unresponsive patient yesterday. They were first on scene, which we often are. They gave 2 rounds of CPR, 2 shocks, and they were able to revive the patient. And the patient left the scene with a pulse. So I'm proud of A-Shift for getting a save. We had 14 motor vehicle accidents, 1 gunshot wound, 1 structure fire, and 3 calls for gas leaks. For department news, we attended the quarterly Chris Timms meeting, traffic incident management. That was at the EOC. We went to the send-off for the Special Olympics athletes at Chris County High School, which was a fun event. And then we participated in the Adopt an Angel Roadblock fundraiser last week. Also, if you look at the picture up there, yesterday, Kenneth LaCroix with the Georgia Arson Control presented Lieutenant Cook, who's our arson investigator, with the Canon EOS 2000D digital camera. Lieutenant Cook went to the Fire Safety Symposium at Gypstick earlier in the year, met Kenneth LaCroix, applied for a grant, and we were able to get that camera for him to use, which is a vital piece of equipment for him through a grant. So that was presented yesterday, and we're proud of that. And that's our report.
All right. Any questions for our fire chief? All right. Seeing none. Thank you, Chief.
Thanks.
All right. Good morning, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, good morning.
Good morning.
You have my report in your packet. Just a few things. The annual annual immigration reporting is coming up at the end of December. Attended a online webinar hosted by Georgia Municipal Association along with Georgia Department of Audits and Accounts regarding some changes to that report. And we are working to compile that and have it completed by the deadline. On November the 7th, we extended a conditional offer of employment to a firefighter in the fire department, and per Chief Alligood, he has started this morning. All the information and renewal documents for the first responder PTSD program, along with the firefighter cancer benefit program, has been submitted, and renewals have been received, so that those policies will be in effect once again January the 1st. Last month, I attended the CTAE Advisory Committee meeting at Chris County Middle School, and we're in the process of setting up a job fair along with industry tours sometime in the month of January. We've not set up a date for that yet. On November 13th, had the opportunity to meet briefly with Noah Williams, a Partners Benefit Group, regarding the 2026 insurance renewal policy, or insurance policy renewal. Right now, that renewal is looking very favorable. Also had the opportunity to attend the swearing-in ceremony and meet and greet for the incoming police chief, Danny Hicks, along with our two newest police officers, Officers Pollock and Fennell. And then last month, I attended the Bricklaying and Veterans Recognition Program at Georgia Veterans Memorial State Park, along with the Veterans Program presented by the Cordele Kiwanis Club. And this last Wednesday, had the opportunity to assist with the Concerned Citizens That Care Thanksgiving food box distribution. Lastly, just want to remind you that flu shots are still available. And on December the 17th, we'll be hosting a lunch and learn. This will be a repeat of the September Lunch and Learn Understanding the Retirement Benefits, which was presented by Josh Colley of Georgia Municipal Association GMEPS division. And that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Wade?
Yes, Chairman. The insurance renewal, I'm looking at it right here. If we stay where we're at, we get a 10% reduction, 10.5% reduction.
Yes, if we stay with Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, we're looking at 10% reduction of the last year's premium, so roughly 190,000 to 200,000. That number's fluid based on number of participants per month.
So the current budget was based upon our the other premium, which would be 10% higher. So starting in February, we would start recouping some from the budget.
If you all approve it today, it's in my report for approval. So if you all approve it, then yes.
That would make a substantial savings in that makes.
The rates would decrease starting in February.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay. I want to make sure I was reading that right.
That's right. Okay. It is good news.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions for Mr. Wade? Thank you, Mr. Wade. Next is our course. Good morning to you, Nancy.
For the month of November, we had a total of 120 traffic cases, a total of 18 criminal, for a total of 138. We had no bench warrants ordered or license suspensions. Between our cash bonds, fines, and deposits from CSRA and web payments, we had a total of $35,646. And that's all I have.
All right, any questions for Ms. Nancy? Thank you. All right. Next is planning and community development. Ms. Durham.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Mary Darby, this is my biweekly report for the weeks of November 19th through December the 2nd. And first, I have on my biweekly report that I've conducted planning and community development site plan reviews on potential commercial and retail proposed projects. The Maurice mentioned that we do have a BZA hearing coming on December the 4th for a property located at 712 South 8th Street. This project is coming in based on the dimensions of lot size and shape of the lots. They're really small and it's not conducive to the R.75 zoning district, which requires 7,500 square feet of a lot to be developed. In the future, I would be requesting the board to consider a rezoning of the particular neighborhood to complement the homes or the lots in that area. They're approximately 25 to 2,700 square feet. So you'll see a lot of lots in that area that will come in requesting variances because they will not be able to meet the minimum standards in our zoning code. Also, we have restructured the pre-application and pre-construction internal workflows. Now, pre-applications and pre-construction requests will come through planning and community development as opposed to starting in public works. They will be reviewed and administered through the committee team for pre-applications and pre-constructions through planning and community development. That allows the process for planning to be more involved and actively streamlining the process as we move forward. Also, in terms of, I did attend the GIG conference, Georgia Institute for the Community Housing, in Savannah, November 17th through the 20th. It was very informative. I did get an opportunity to meet the GIG representatives here for the city of Cordele, as well as recommend that we have a facilitator with the Department of Community Affairs, since we are an alumni of GIG, which is great. And we did review the Gillespie Seldom urban redevelopment plan. There will be a GIG meeting that's scheduled for this December the 5th with the GIG chairman. I'm just looking because chairman is looking like, I just want to make sure I'm not going too fast.
No, I move. I have back pain, and so I move my leg.
Okay.
So I have to slowly working.
Okay.
So, yeah. Asian.
Okay, no worries. On November 25th, we had attended Downtown Development Authority meeting in which we began to explore potential design standards for the downtown area, as well as 16th Avenue and 7th Street. So we are proposing that we will break those design standards up into 3 phases that will support each of those areas. We are looking at restructuring the Economic Development Revolving Loan Fund, and that is in process. And also, I have a scheduled meeting with the River Valley Regional Commission to review and discuss and update the 2025 CDBG application that was submitted in 2025 to resubmit in 2026. So that meeting is scheduled for early next week. The application deadline for the CDBG application is April the 10th, and we will definitely be on schedule for submittal of that. That will conclude my report. Any questions, concerns, issues?
Any questions from the floor? Your meeting with GIG.
December the 5th.
Where?
It's going to be at the. Okay, sorry. I would have to look at my calendar, but I do know that it's during lunchtime. Okay. And I'll get you that information.
Any other questions? Been very busy.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So, how's it looking in kind of, I know you've been here time soon so far.
So I've been here, this is December 5 months. So
Okay.
yeah, I've been here for 5 months.
So how's it looking in, could you kind of, if we had a priority list coming from community development, what would that look like?
So that's an interesting question. There are a lot of priorities that I think in my bi-weekly report from last time that I outlined, and unfortunately I wasn't here because I was at the conference to present it, but I do have like the priority list and basically what we can do within the next year to advance Cordele. I would like to have the opportunity at our next meeting to kind of review what that is like, what that would look like, and to present that at the next meeting, if that's okay.
I would love that.
And if that's okay with my supervisor. Okay. Okay. And then that way I'll be more prepared and I have all the information in front of me. But I will say that the last 5 months that I've been here, it has been dynamic in terms of going to the conferences, meeting with the players, and understanding the whole culture of the city of Cordele. And I do see how we can advance it in terms of our rezoning that we're proposing to do with our ordinance and some of the other projects, the CDBG projects, the GIG projects, and all the other types of projects and activities that are going on in the city. I did have the opportunity to work closely with Debbie Wright, the UTC director, to look at some of the water and wastewater systems. And so that's been really helpful to see where development can actually really occur and what needs to happen prior to housing development coming into the city.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you.
Okay.
I would ask you to next meeting when you do that, if we can have a handout as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah. Kind of have something to hold on to as you're walking us through it. Any other questions from Ms. Stokes? All right.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have a question, but the GIG meeting will be held December 5th noon at the Chamber of Commerce conference.
I thought it was, but I wasn't 100% sure. And I just also wanted to add, in terms of updating our zoning map, I am now reaching out to the code compliance officers, and we're going to break the map up into quadrants and update it so that way we can bring it back before the board. Well, it has to go to planning commission first, but then to your board for review and approval to make sure we have an officially approved, adopted zoning map.
I just have a question. Why is it at the Chamber of Commerce?
I cannot answer that question. I don't know.
Yeah. Why is it?
You all
So-
scheduled the meeting, so I don't know.
Yeah, so the meeting was scheduled by the chairperson, Susan
Borky.
Bulky.
Oh,
Yes.
that's why it's
So
at the Chamber
she's
of
the
Commerce.
chairperson.
Yeah, I don't need any other explanation.
Okay.
What I would like to do is my only thing is we have to make sure the right players at the table and where you have something sometimes matter. I won't be shy this morning about what I need to say. Sometimes things are held at a particular thing for people to keep their paws and hands on things, and their hands don't need to be on it at all, or what have you. And so I would like, that was a number of places Susan could have had this meeting, or what have you. I think here is suitable, or other places. But when we're talking about the nature of what will be hopefully discussed there, it's just interesting because a lot of things, Monica do a good job with some things, but I think she does too much, and she want to have her hands on too much. And I don't even know if she'll be at the meeting, but I know it's in her house, so to speak. And we got to get to a point in Cordele where the same old people need to stop touching the same old things. Because I sit in a Propel meeting, they're talking about we can't get people to the meetings. And I, share with them at private meetings all the time because you have the wrong people at the table. If you make your table more inclusive, more diverse, or what have you, maybe you'll get fuller, more engagement and participation. So I do have pause of concern. I'll try to call Susan. I think I still have her number on that end, but that's just a thing that really has gotten me over the last 4 years. And I nothing on your part.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
taken.
so, yeah. But
Yeah,
that's
I understand. Actually, I'm happy about the meeting
Okay.
because it's going to bring me up to speed of where we are with the GIG and also the housing plan that was submitted for review for me to be able to understand where we are. And from that meeting, I'm hoping that we can move the location of the meeting to another location. But this is the initial meeting to kind of bring everybody back together as an alumni team and to understand where we are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is police, codes, and animal control. Good morning,
It's
Mr.
gonna be a hard one to follow. She's wonderful.
Dix.
I got a chance to talk with her yesterday for, I don't know, probably about 15, 20 minutes, and we got a lot accomplished in that time, so that's going to be a hard one to follow. She's just great. So we'll just start off with the police department. No applicants. Actually, it says 0 applicants. I believe we just got one turned in. Cadet Pollock and Cadet Fennell successfully passed the academy. We had their swearing-in ceremony. Very proud of both of those. I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, this is nothing against Cadet Fennell, like I said at the ceremony, but Cadet Pollock, just extra proud of her. Not that his accomplishments are not as important, but she really worked through a lot of, I guess, trials and tribulations through this process. You know, she had to go back through the PT part a couple times, and she never gave up. So, and that's her being a mom. She, fiance, she's about to get married in June, and just super, super proud of her. And, we encouraged her. She had difficulty at the firearms range. We met with her, Sergeant Montgomery, Lieutenant File, and many, many late nights out at the firing range. And she wanted to be there. So she wanted to be there. We were there to help her. And I'm just super, super proud of her. I love to see that when they, don't give up. And, we all fall down sometimes, and it's what we do after we fall up. And I think she sets the example of what to do. So super proud of her on that. We're still collecting unwrapped gifts for Adopt an Angel toy drive until December the 12th. Collection boxes downstairs lobby. Several of our officers participated in the donation roadblock that was held on November 21st. We thank everyone that helped us with that. We are also still accepting monetary donations for Shot with a Cop 2025, and we'll do that on the 19th. It is my understanding on my briefing yesterday, and I'll just add this up, I believe we're to $75 per child is what we are at right now that we'll be able to spend. But I do believe I've got a donation coming in that may make that. I don't want to make any promises, but that may make that $100 per child. I'm just waiting on that donation to come in. So hopefully that will make it. That's all I have on the police department side. Animal control still continue to be busy. Adopt, don't shop is kind of what they do. The adoptions and rescues have slowed down, but the sign-overs and dumping has continued to increase. Dog food donations continue to come in. Probation, Tractor Supply, and the public. They also participate in the spectacular Hometown Hero Day at Tractor Supply. So proud of them. They work very hard. Codes. Y'all see all the numbers that they had. They participated in Adopt an Angel program 1121. Code officers also attended the Keep Chris County Beautiful meeting on the 19th. And then you see the rest of the numbers as far as the permits and things of that nature. And the last thing I have to say is just thank y'all for everybody's support on the week of the 18th. Everybody was just overpouring support was just absolutely wonderful and very humbling. And I certainly appreciate that from all of y'all. Thank you so much.
Any questions?
Animal control, everything is okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about,
Yes, ma'am.
this might be a question might go for Mary and Maurice, but on our permitted commercial construction projects,
Yes, sir.
Projects that are placed on hold, I'm looking here, it's been on, like, I'm noticing that these have been the same ones that have been there, but now they've been placed on hold. What would be the reasoning behind them being placed on hold? Is there something on their end or our end? Because just to get an idea.
And which one specifically are we talking about on hold?
Tire recycling.
The pending jobs?
Tire recycling and Darren Felton.
At the top of the report,
Yeah, it said
permitted
permitted commercial
commercial
construction
construction projects.
I will have to get back to you on that unless you know.
I would like to say that they're not on hold because of the city,
Okay.
but it's probably more so because of the applicant. They're either sometimes like with contractors' licenses, or maybe they may be going through the process, and then there's something that's missing and it has to be held up for the applicant to clear up issues. But I will definitely look back into those in particular and see what the status is.
same on my end. I'll check with them as well, and I'll get back to you guys.
And this one right here, that was 16 for the.
Right. Well, that's all, that was why I was asking. I know when it got started, but okay. So
I'll
if you-
I'll follow
The
up.
one on the 16th, that's the one we had the meeting, I think it was week before last, because remember we have 216. And I think this one is waiting for the engineer to review.
Is that the retail strip mall?
Yes, the retail
Yes.
space.
So that one's moving ahead. We're waiting on something from the applicant.
Is that the one with the
So-
deceleration lane?
So that one is on the west side, and that's they call that one the plaza. So in that
Yes.
particular case, his site plan needs to be redesigned, but he does have I did identify some acceleration deceleration lane issues because it is along a state highway, 16th Avenue, and that has to be cleared up as well. But it's mostly more of the use of what he's doing and redesigning his project. He originally submitted a site plan, and in his site plan, he had the alley included in his site plan, and he had to redesign or revise his site plan to identify his landed lot instead of the city portion of the lot. So he has some redesigning he has to do with his project.
That's the one that you're referring to.
I'm confused on the deceleration lane. The deceleration lane is our ordinance or?
Yes. But there is also, I can share that with you, but there are other stipulations in the ordinance that states why a deceleration lane will not be required, and it has to do with percentage of the development, or if they redesign their property where they're coming off of the local street as opposed to a state route. So there are other things that you can get around a deceleration lane, but before he even gets there, he's still working on the layout of his lot and the alley issue, and then there were some other issues from Public Works.
Okay. The 1 year on the plan, is that taken off the checklist or?
And also, that was another issue with that particular property, that if you don't move with the progressive speed to develop your property within 6 months, then your permit becomes invalid. And his approvals were from the Historic Preservation Commission. He was approved in 2022, and for his building permit, he received it in July of 2023. So my recommendation is that he goes back through the process for review and approval. Also, now that I'm thinking about this one, he changed the use of what he originally was approved for back in 2022. So there's a lot going on with this particular project.
The 1 year on the plans, I'm concerned with the 1 year.
The 6 months building permit,
No, the 1 year on the business, on the plans. It's almost impossible to build a commercial establishment within 1 year, because in our codes, these plans cost a lot of money, and for us to put a year on it.
there isn't, I'm not familiar with the 1 year.
The 1 year of that outdated, that was on the code.
Yeah, but I don't think they're saying they have to build it in a year.
The
Yes.
plan submitted.
They have to submit their plans, and then if they don't do anything within that year, and I have to look at that stipulation again, then I think they just have to reapply. But I look at that because I know there was one, I don't remember, but it was very old, maybe, was it 4 or 5 years old? And so that was why that was brought up, because they, whatever they were trying to do, they had not completed that part. And what was approved was like 4 or 5 years old, if I remember correctly. But we'll look at that, because I do know for the site plans, if they have not done anything in that 1 year, then it expires and they just have to resubmit the information.
So if they're resubmitting the information, that means they're paying the fees all over again?
I'm not sure if they're paying the fees again. I would have to look and see the language that we have, and I'm thinking was it for the church?
Yeah, I don't like the 1 year stipulation like on a site plan. I mean, I don't mind it having to go back for a review to see if our codes or something have changed over you know, if somebody's building as long as they can afford it, you see, man, when you build a plan, some of these architects charge you a flat fee, some of them charge you a percentage of the cost of the development. So you're talking on a contract, on the person who's building the project, they could pay $10,000, $50,000, $60,000 for plans, and then us sit there and say, oh, you didn't start in a year, and you got to go back and get a site survey and everything. That's a little tough. Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna ask, are we still speaking about the same property, the 60?
No.
Well,
It's
in
another.
general,
Okay.
but yes, it
It's
would apply to this. This
Because
gentleman.
his plans are already, like, when I came in, I have the most recent plans. So it's not like we're asking him for.
No,
Some of the
this was
plans
for
we're
the
talking
other.
about were like 2017, which I don't see a problem with a 2017 plan as long as the 2017 plan still complies with our codes.
I agree with that.
I don't see why you should have to go back and get an architect to restamp, even if that plan still complies with us. That 1 year is what I understood was a problem on some of the plans when people are trying to develop here. And I just know you can't go through a process and get your project built in a year.
So I just got a quick question on that with the experience from there. So you're saying a plan that's 8 years old would be acceptable? If it was
I think you can
2017?
go for review to make sure it still complies, but you know, retention ponds and all that don't necessarily change in the course of 8 years. I mean, that requirement, backflow preventers, the disruption of your parking lot, your handicap spaces. You know, if you increase your handicap spaces or something, change your ordinance for van accessible and all that stuff. I mean, I get all that coming up, but to say that plan, make him go back and get another plan or get that architect to recertify that plan is a little tough.
I think we need to look at the context of
Yeah.
all of this because the incident that you're referring to with the church, again, their plans were approved many years ago. And I think depending on what it is, and not just use land disturbance, which they end up not having to do that. But again, we just need to look at the whole context of this 1 year site plan to see what is involved and what is required. Because if something was reviewed in 2017 and then they're deciding now they want to move forward in 2025, certain things may have changed. So
That's right.
yeah, so we'll look at that section. I'll pull it up and we'll review it as staff and then
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, as long as we're taking another look at it, for sure.
And if you will, just let me know for that particular one too. I think you answered my question on
Which one
that.
for 16 Daphne?
Yeah, but just to make sure we're on that as well.
You want the stack? Okay. Yes.
Am I good, Mr. Chairman?
Function on 4 hours sleep.
It was his first time, so
And listen, yes, you did an amazing job for your first time. Fabulous job. So, yeah,
Thank you.
I get to stick your play home, and then you outshine. There you go. Great job. All right. Public Works. All right.
Oh, Marcia had a family emergency,
Okay.
so Michael is going to go.
Good morning, Chair and Commission.
good morning.
Just speaking from the water and sewer aspect of things, everything's just still moving along smoothly. ARPA project still chugging right along. I just got notice yesterday, so it didn't make it into the report, that they've now come in and are starting to line the manholes. So camera's pretty much completed. They're doing the CIPP, the slit lining, and now they're coming back in and doing the manholes too. So it's moving right along, starting over there on 13th Avenue and continuing to work around. So other than that, I have nothing to add unless you have any questions for me.
Any questions?
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be social media and marketing.
Good morning, Honorable Chairman, Commissioners. I hope you all had a blessed Thanksgiving. You have my report in your packet. I don't have anything else to add at this time. unless you have any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Small? Give me one moment. All right. Any questions? Say no. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Miss Debbie, UCNT.
Good morning, everybody. On this lovely wet morning, we got 1.8 inches of rain on the east side of town, and we got 1.2 inches on the west side of town. So that's awesome. We needed it really bad. I don't have the water totals for the month of November yet, but we treated 42 million gallons of wastewater, which is very low. And we got 0.9 inches of rain for the whole month of November, so that brings our total up to 40.66 inches for the year. And we're still considered an extreme drought area. We had all our flow meters calibrated. This is required by EPD annually. And I attended an ARPA meeting with Linear Engineering, Marcia, and ESG personnel for the Phase 3 project of the ARPA money. And that should finish up all the money. We intend to spend every dime. That's what we do. That's about it for right now. I hope we get some more rain at the end of the week. And if y'all have any questions, just let me know.
Any questions? Thank you, Miss Debbie.
Thank you.
All right. Brian Suster, Mr. Brett, how you doing?
Good, sir.
Good, good.
Chairman, Commissioners, City Manager, good to be here. As we move forward with our continuous improvement and looking for opportunities to improve, the big picture is right now we continue to support the people, computers, and devices and systems for the city. So who's providing that support? So I am, you might say, a single point of failure, maybe. But fortunately, I have people who I work with in the departments, and I have remote technicians, remote security, and remote engineers to help me through many things. The day-to-day support, right now, I look back last night, there were 703 tickets, what we call this year so far. And some of those things are scheduled, some of those things are troubles, some of those things are opportunities like onboarding and offboarding staff. For example, patch management and backup are some of the scheduled activities. And what's been making it very successful is not only the collaboration of the people I work with, but also the departments are always there to participate in resolving problems, which is a big deal. Uptime, I think the biggest problem we've had has been during power outages. That, of course, that causes our servers to go down sometimes, and we've had issues with that. But mostly, we are able to resolve issues in a timely manner. One thing that I've been working on for the past 2 months is trying to get myself to be, for an interim period, the primary contact for cybersecurity with the Center for Internet Security, MSISAC. I don't really like acronyms, but that's the multi-state sharing of information regarding cybersecurity. So we're able to get that. Now we're able to get updates and information about risk that's out there so that we can inform the city staff about that. Also, we've had a couple of incidents that we've had to work through with our security team, which has been very successful, and departments have been very collaborative and cooperative along those things. We do weekly on-site and off-site backups, which is a good thing. The current projects we have going right now are, since we've done a lot of updates, is surplus disposition. In other words, we'll come to you with a new spreadsheet of items that need to be turned in because they're end of life or no longer required. We're working on that now. And I wish Marcia was here because I could give her a big thanks, because she, with her last disposition, she cleared out enough space for us to continue to bring equipment to a secure location and continue to offboard that through the surplus process. The other thing we're working on is finalization of the migration of PCs, and we'll continue to do that with an idea of reducing risk in the migration to new devices. And the sad thing for me is we've had this cybersecurity grant in with the state of GEMA. If you recall, you approved that 278 days ago, right? So we're still hoping there'll be a release of funds to establish that cybersecurity grant. It's not a big grant; it's $25,000, but it'll provide a cybersecurity plan for the city moving forward, and it'll provide information for the citizenry also to protect themselves. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer those.
Any questions?
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That concludes our department head reports. And so with that, we are going to our specific agenda items. First, we have is consider and approve the first reading of ordinance amending the zoning regarding fencing. Do we have a motion and a second to consider and approve?
So second.
But properly.
Excuse me, Chair, it's the law, to allow for loft dwellings.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, we're going off my package. So, yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so, it should be, I see what you're saying, okay.
The loft
So,
dwellings.
agenda item number 1, consider and approve the zoning for, the loft building. So, it's been considered and approved. I said agenda item number 1, so we just misspoke. All right. So, any specific, open for, discussion?
Motion.
Well, I said agenda item number 1, so I said fencing, but since I said agenda item number 1, I just misspoke what it particularly was, but it was a motion on the second for it.
Who did that?
I made the motion.
Motion, not second.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
No, you got to get it right. That's important.
You're doing your job, you're doing your job.
Yeah.
Second vote.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if it's open for discussion,
It is.
I would ask Mary if she can give you all an update or go through the PowerPoint document that you all have regarding the loft dwelling units.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much.
I love lofts, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
Someone got elevated. You're right. All right, sorry.
Okay, no worries. So this is an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Cordele, Georgia to allow for loft dwellings in the central business district, establishing rules and regulations regarding such dwellings, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and other purposes. The purpose of the residential loft dwelling ordinance is to attract new residents to the historic downtown area and to support adaptive reuse of buildings in the central business district, to preserve architectural character while promoting sustainability by reducing existing structures, and to expand the range of housing types available within the city, and to create a consistent customer base beyond the normal business hours. The intent of the ordinance is to define the location of permitted loft dwellings, to outline the process for loft dwellings to be considered, to set restrictions to permit loft dwelling units, to ensure loft dwelling units are in compliance with all commercial buildings and fire codes, and to amend section 635.5 of the Central Business District zoning ordinance to include loft dwellings. In terms of property location, this area is located, of course, downtown, and it amends code section 635.5 of Appendix A of the zoning of Cordele zoning ordinance. It is consistent and compatible with the comprehensive plan goals and objectives and the character areas of our future land use map. And it does have a positive effect on our neighborhoods within the downtown areas, which will allow 1 and 2 story attached brick commercial buildings constructed within the 19th and the 20th centuries. The loft dwellings ordinance will have positive effects in the CBD core, which represents commercial establishments, retail stores, offices, civic organizations, as well as residential areas. It is suitable with our proposed land uses, as I mentioned before, with our comprehensive plan and the preservation of our historic districts. And it will, in particular, this proposed text amendment will require that each dwelling unit has its own off-street parking space with direct access to a public alley or a street between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Public parking will not be permitted. And staff recommends approval. It did go before the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission on October 16th recommended approval without any conditions of approval. And that will conclude this report or presentation.
Any questions?
It's the parking part I got a question about. Where these are, you said they had to be off-street parking, so are they gonna be buying some adjoining land on these specific buildings, or? I guess I'm trying to figure out where that off-street parking part is gonna be.
We are looking at areas within the downtown area where we can promote additional parking off the alleyway. It's not set in stone, and it's not at the point where we're actually have a conversation about it. But there are areas that we're looking at in the downtown area that would promote off-street parking.
So we would pass an ordinance where we don't have parking allotted for it. I guess I'm the on-street. Only thing I know really downtown is on-street parking. I can't. So we would pass an ordinance where there's no off-street parking available.
Currently,
because I can't think of the off-street parking areas.
There's parking currently, as you know, along 11th Avenue, and then west, I guess that's west, of 11th Avenue, that whole parking area that's across from like the university. There's parking spaces there that are currently existing. But in terms of other parking areas, I am not familiar.
So people would have to walk that far to their lots.
Not necessarily, because we don't have a stipulation on the parking. We don't have a 2-hour parking. So I wouldn't think it would be a problem.
Well, this ordinance does says they can't use public
parking. That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, it says that word can't use public
parking.
So normally what happens is when you have this situation is businesses have like, signs that you can only park here. It's only for their parking. But they reserve like so many parking spaces per business a day if the traffic goes and flows up into a certain hour or what have you. But I do see the problem. I would tend to have to agree with Commissioner Rainey on this one, where that's another one. I think there's 2 times 4 years.
Chairman, y'all would just like to delete that section.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to recommend.
Well, the problem would be then we'll have business owners complaining because everybody's taking up their parking space.
I know the problem.
Yeah.
But one of our local apartment is owned by one of the businesses downtown. They got a shop downstairs. So when their customers, that resident not parking in there,
Yeah, but they don't own those parking spaces. Those are public, and our ordinance says this ordinance, not
this
ordinance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all about something. To me, downtown, there's plenty of public parking right now.
Yeah.
Until this progresses, I just would like to suggest changing that, taking the off-street parking off, and then if the
amend the ordinance on down the road, is to do off-street parking. You just gotta see how this would progress. Right now, it's not a problem. There's plenty of on-street parking, right now until something changes. But I don't see how we could pass an ordinance when there's no off-street parking to send them to.
Yeah, I agree. I do see an opportunity if we have people. I think we should take it out, but I do see that particular part. But I do see I know there's places or opportunities there where people can park, and having lived in a few lofts, I know normally the hike is a little bit far sometimes. Sometimes you have a parking space with just unload. If you have stuff that you have to go park somewhere else and walk, or what have you. Which walkability is something that we're definitely interested in the downtown. But behind, I know the Swanee building, there's parking spaces. And I know if a person usually will come in and develop, they usually work it out with a nearby owner that they have to go parking and then pay a certain fee and contract. Sometimes I've seen that get messy as well, though. When you negotiate prices and spaces. So there is, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit farther, there is parking available downtown that could be utilized. It won't be convenient or central or what have you. Most of the people who would buy a loft usually are the age that are may able to walk.
Yes.
Walkable people, millennial age.
Not like me. Not a broken
I was trying to be careful. I was trying to read but majority of people who are on these laws, or you rent or however we do it, I do see a situation where they'll be able to be okay. So I do think that they will get creative and they'll find parking in the area, because it is ample parking if you think about it. On behind Sammy's and on the other side of the library is parking there, I believe, as well.
And also in the bike over there where they had danger building, there's a parking area there.
That's right. There's a parking space over there. So now that I think about that, is a lot of off-street parking opportunities. However, if I'm thinking, if I want to come in and develop something, maybe I still don't want to jump that hurdle. Maybe I want to be able to say that may be one thing that would convince me not to develop, and I don't want that in there if it gives anybody a second thought whether they want to come in develop. But I do think there's opportunity. And I was just downtown the other day, actually Thanksgiving, and I looked at the potential of our downtown. I think if we can do something with the Rats of Riches building, the old house store that just went up for rent. And actually, I don't know, I grew up with Si, who has that building on the corner of their retail shop, but I know it's not open like it used to be. Mm-hmm. Retail is hard. Nowadays, if you don't have you almost have to have a cultural appeal or somehow, or turnover to keep retail in business or what have you. But I think if we can land 3 nice popular businesses downtown, it can transform our downtown really good, really sufficiently. I just looked at the Rats and Riches building and that can be so much. That can be such a casual dining place would be really nice there. I mean, it would, I think, because people don't really understand how many people travel into Cordele. We're small, but we got a lot of smaller places that travel into us, smaller than we are. And when I walk, I see the potential, especially with the college there. Rare Tavern's doing well. The hot dog stand is a historical staple there. And we can land 3 nice foot trafficking businesses down there, and then bring on the laws. I think we can really do a phenomenal job in our downtown to get it where it needs to go. So I do tend to think if maybe we could remove that line, that piece, and then if need to come back and revisit later if we get out of hand or what have you. That's my opinion, Commissioner Shepherd.
And also in the building where the old TV station came down, somebody could, develop that as a parking. But then it said she came down, it's a small club, and maybe you get 8 to 10 walk spaces, somebody develop that area.
Yeah, exactly. I know a lot of times when we go to these trainings, they talk about this, and this is why if the city can afford it, you have land control, you acquire those properties because you want to have a little control over what happens to them or what have you. You wait for the right thing to come along and utilize and actually attract. You go out and get people who you want to see come in. That's what I actually want to spend time doing. In the future is going and talking to people about what that should look like. That we have to get a certain level of controls. Our city attorney make sure we put the screws in the people who are not doing what they're supposed to do, and send them through our court enough time where they want to do right by those properties or be motivated to sell. Because I know we talked about that, and we're not right now utilizing every tool we have to incentivize them or motivate them to do what they need to do downtown. So, yeah. Anything else, Commissioner?
I just think that probably would be the best way if we take it out right now. And we leave ourselves the opportunity to amend it if we need to do it.
All right, y'all have the first reading of this, but that can leave it in front of you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. Commissioner Lane?
Yes.
Commissioner Shepherd?
Yes.
Commissioner Owens? Yes. All right, Mr. Carey is approved. All right. Let me put it up. I got it. The scripture thing is throwing me off because I'm trying to hear right. I struggle sometimes with OCD up there, so I have to have certain things. So I'm pushing way up here today. So. All right. Agenda item number 2, consider and approve the first reading of ordinance amending the zoning, and this one is considering fencing. All right. Do we have a motion in a second?
So moved.
All right. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. It's been properly moved and second that we consider and approve this ordinance in agenda item number 2. Open for discussion.
Mr. Chairman, Mary Darby will give an update on the residential fence ordinance as well.
Perfect.
I'll have that PowerPoint promotion.
All right. So this is an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Cordele, Georgia, to establish yard regulations for residential properties in the city, to provide fencing development standards, to provide for permit fees and for fencing, and repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith and other purposes. The purpose of this ordinance is to prevent the total enclosure of residential lots, to preserve neighborhood character, to formalize the fence installation process and include permitting fees, and to promote safe, attractive, and cohesive neighborhoods or communities. The property location for this particular ordinance is citywide, and it adds Code Section 461 of Appendix A to the City of Cordele zoning ordinance. The proposed ordinance is consistent and compatible with our comprehensive plan as well as our future land use map for our character areas. And the fence standards in particular in terms of the front yard, it would prohibit fencing in the front yard setback area. It will also not allow, or it would allow side yard fencing up to 6 feet. I know it says 4 feet in your presentation, but based on the Planning Commission recommendations, we changed that to up to 6 feet in side yards, and then rear yards shall not exceed 6 feet. Some of the acceptable fencing materials would include wood, vinyl, wrought iron, or chain link fencing. However, barbed wire or razor wire fencing would be prohibited. To apply for a fence permit, there is an application that has been prepared for applicants to apply for the fencing permit. There will be a $75 application fee attached to the application, and this application would not interfere with historic districts at all. They will still follow their own standards. and they will submit their site plan as well as their application to the Planning and Community Development Department for review and consideration. As we mentioned earlier, the fence heights shall be allowed up to 6 feet, except if it is surrounding a tennis or basketball court. The fence shall not be more than 50% opaque, solid, and it shall not exceed 6 feet. It shall not abut residential districts taller than 6 feet without a variance approved by the Board of Zoning Appeals, and it shall not be taller than 10 feet for playgrounds, parks, or communication towers, and shall not be more than 50% opaque. It shall not also be allowed on through lots, and fencing may be located in the rear yard, determining what the rear yard is when you have a through lot. In terms of fence design, it should not be designed so that the finished side faces outward. It should have materials that are compatible with the building or architectural structure. It shall not encroach on public right-of-way. It shall prohibit untreated wooden retaining walls, and it shall maintain a clear sight triangle at all intersections, and it shall not be permitted on lots without a principal structure. In terms of the Planning Commission recommendations that were heard on October the 16th, the proposed ordinance was approved with the following revisions. One is that the fence ordinance shall allow up to 6 feet behind the front yard setback line, perpendicular to the structure. It shall, per section 500.4 for non-conforming structures, existing fencing that is damaged or destroyed exceeding 50% must apply or shall apply for a fence permit. And per section 530.2, the vision clearance of 20 feet required at intersections and rail yards shall be enforced. And that's the end of the presentation. You have any questions? I know it's a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I got a question. It says on your fences, your wrought iron fences, whatever, gate fences, you can't have any barbed wire or razor top. What if the property already has razor top? Do we have to take them
So
down?
those are all what we consider legal, non-conforming, and the only time that you would actually come in for a fence permit is if it's 50%. Like it's 50%, you're changing more than 50% of what's already existing. Then you will be required.
I got a fence all the way around, but I don't know what we got. But I never know about the barbed wire or whatever on there. You know. So
It's for safety. It's just for safety hazards.
Keep them right y'all.
Yeah.
That's all
Keep them in and keep them out, right?
I'm just interested.
My only question would be on the replacing. I don't know about if you're replacing the exact same fence. I mean, wood fence. When you buy a wood fence, you're gonna have to replace that. Metal, you don't. I have a little issue with the replacing part.
The 50% requirement.
Yeah, if you're gonna replace a pre-existing fence there's just a lot of people do a lot of wood fences now, and that's going to deteriorate, and you're going to constantly.
Well,
especially
wood not tree.
Yeah.
So we had an extensive conversation.
There's just a lot of wood fence.
Yeah, we had an extensive conversation about that in particular and during the Planning Commission hearing. And the way we came up with the 50% was how do we determine what is maintenance and just repair, and when is it that you're replacing or installing a new fence? And so that would have to really be determined based on the site plan that's presented before us, whether or not it's determined if it's just maintenance and repair, or are you putting in an entire fence. So we talked about fencing that was torn down, and maybe you're doing the whole side yards. You already have the front yard or the rear yard. So it really just depends on the definitions of what's considered repair, maintenance, and then damage to 50% or more of the fence.
So if you tear down your fence and you replace it with the exact same fence, you got to go through the whole process.
That would be considered the repair and maintenance. If you're replacing it exactly what you had, exactly, that's like repair and maintenance.
Because that's based on deterioration.
Right.
But you still come in for that and have to pay
you still come in for us to know, so code enforcement won't go out there and cite you. But at permitting, when you come in, then we put in our notes that this is a repair or replacement. Mhm.
I have no problem. As long as you don't have to repay for the exact same thing.
No, no, sir.
Any other questions? What do we have on the books right now?
In terms for fencing,
Mm-hmm.
we have nothing on the books right now.
That was my question. That's what I'm saying. My own thing is that's what I was saying. Nothing. Yeah. You know, okay, for that. I'm there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm learning.
I think it's needed. I like the idea. I do. Because I think right now unregulated, you get different things, different places, and I know 3 fences that's on the right of way. Ain't gonna be petty this morning, but yeah, it's good. You good. I just think it's a good thing to establish because, you know, when we think in terms of fencing was a necessity at some time, but now we live in a time where it's more of a necessity. People, you know, for whatever the reason, and if we don't have anything to, you know, we'll be looking at. So I think it's something. I think it works. And I think that at least that gives us something to go back to, because if you think about previous issues that we're having right now with, you know, people coming in and the language not being clear, it can cause a great amount of problems down the road because you let them do it. Somebody can't let me do it. And I think we got one established thing, one established plan that makes it easier that everybody can reference the same thing. And then it's also going to be easier when people come in to apply for these things, that it's not looking like you're giving way to one group and not. So everybody has the same plan and it's written, we're covered, which has been our issue. It's some of the issues. Okay, but yeah, I think it's a good idea. Any other? Seeing none, shall proceed to vote. Commissioner Shepherd?
Yes.
Commissioner Ray?
Yes.
Commissioner Oak? Yes. Motion carried. It was approved.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Moving right along. All right. My checks. All right. Consider and approve a resolution approving additional compensation for city employees. Do we have a motion in a second? So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved in a second that we consider and approve additional compensation for city employees. All right, open for discussion.
Mr. Chairman, this item is to ratify, in the past, we've considered bonuses for employees, and they were term bonuses. But we, in order to do that, we need to make sure that we have a resolution in place for one-time payment to employees. And so basically, this is to ratify the bonus for the employees, for the one-time payment.
Gotcha.
The Christmas bonus.
One-time payment.
One-time payment for Christmas. That's what we do. So we legal. I just say it's all in the word.
Discussion right now.
That's right. So, AKA we. You know what I mean. Right. All right. Any other discussion on it? Only thing I would say is about it is I don't know how this vote gonna go, but I gotta say it before the vote go down. But there's been a lot of discussion about us taking bonuses from city employees, and it's never our goal to take anything from anybody. And what we partially did, I know that may be misinformation, because if it's not department heads, you know, in these meetings, mostly all the other employees don't know, particularly don't understand. But we, you know, I remember studying politics, and one of the first cliches of things I heard, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, or what have you. And when we did the pay study, and, you know, we tried to fairly compensate people. You know, you have unlimited resources, and so out of that, given what we had done because of that, then we couldn't do it all, basically. Couldn't do it all, or what have you. And but I know it's never my intention, and I can say I don't think it's anyone's up here intentions on ever removing something that has been practiced or tradition. You know, it's just like sometimes in the household, it you know, may be less this time, depending on what we got going on, or what have you. But I'm glad we're getting back on the track to be able to do that, or what have you. You just never know what any amount do for anybody. You know, you just never know what a low amount of money means to anybody these days. It's hurting so hard. So I would say thank you to the city manager for putting this, giving this to us and our attention. But that's my piece. So with that, you all know how I feel about it. Any other discussion, comments? Seeing none, shall proceed to vote. Commissioner Rainey?
Yes.
All right. Commissioner Owens?
Yes.
Commissioner Shepherd?
Yes.
All right. It is approved. There you go. Motion carries. All right. Agenda item number 4. Consider and approve renewal of alcohol license. No exceptions noted. It has been reviewed. Are you waiting?
It's for discussion.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. All right. I thought they messed up again.
No.
You were smooth on this paper too. Sleep. No, it's just sleep. All right. Do we have a motion and a second for agenda item number 4?
So moved.
Second. It's been properly moved and second that we consider and approve agenda item number 4, alcohol license. Open for discussion.
Okay,
All right.
thank you. Mr. Chairman, I would like for you all to, I would like to bring something to you all's attention, and then you decide whether or not you would like to move forward with approval, and it is for the American Legion. And I will ask Chief Hicks if he would just give an update, because I know earlier last week there was a flyer circulating about bring your own beer or something like that, and you reached out to them regarding that flyer. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I talked to Mr. Smith about that, and he said that they were not gonna be open. We kind of just agreed that, you know, didn't want anybody to get in trouble or affect his license. So he said they weren't gonna do that. And then on Saturday is when the video was sent to me. With that being said, I have not had a chance to verify. It looks like it's the American Legion, and people were inside, and people were, you know, consuming alcohol anyway. But I do need to, you know, 100% be for sure, you know, who the persons were on the video, as you just asked me about, and 100% for sure that it's inside the Legion. It does look like the Legion, and there are people in there. You can see on the video that they are drinking, but that's all I've got so far.
Do we have any proof no one was telling it, or do we have any proof that, you know, that it was sale? I mean, those guys are working real hard trying
They
to
have,
like,
and Mr. Smith has
and
been
I
good.
think they've been in compliance. And I think it's been slapping the face, you know, I don't know what the video, I haven't seen the computer video,
Right.
like you say. And then, this is Cordele, so I want to make sure, that we are, I mean, I was remember that vote for years.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
they did a lot of good things for Cordele, y'all, so I'm not going to just, you know, hold my hand and say, yes, let's do this to them. But they have been working diligently.
And they have put a lot of work in.
Established the organization as well as auxiliary, And I wanna help them as much as I can.
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't wanna let them get stabbed in the back.
Yes, ma'am.
And Janice, thank you so much for working with them.
We just want to make sure, that they are in compliance because we don't want them to have to come before you all again like they did the last time.
If I go to VFW tomorrow night, with my pocket, with my Hennessy in there, they didn't sell me that Hennessy. I go into VFW, I'm being honest, I'm being frank, sir.
Right.
I go in that VFW, play bingo, they don't know what I have in my
But
pocket.
they do have an alcohol license.
But they don't have to sell liquor, do they?
No.
Liquor by the drink, do they? But I have my liquor by the drink on that table. You see what I'm saying? If I walk in that VFW right now, and I go down there every week, if they run the week, they play bingo. I'm just being frank.
Sound like someone need to join.
Okay.
But we just, like I said, we just want to make sure because they do not have an alcohol license, and I know Chief Hicks reached out to them before.
Right.
We just want to make sure that they are in compliance so they do not have to come back.
And then I saw a post from Curtis Smith saying, no brown bag, do not come in,
Correct.
I saw this post myself.
And that was after we talked on Wednesday, because they were going to do that on Friday, and he was very receptive to it. He was very nice. He recalled that back of the flyer that was put out, and he completely agreed.
I'm gonna say one more thing, then I'm gonna stop, Mr. Chair, when I get emotional about these things. The American Legion people is not just a club; it's an organization.
Sure.
I mean, probably just don't know. They think they're just a joint that we won't get out, but they serve the veteran children, the veteran widows. They got ongoing programs just at the VFW.
They do.
So I'm saying, let's not just throw a rock on one little incident now. They work too hard. I just can't see it going down here like that, sir.
I'm okay with that.
No,
Yeah, we just bring it to your attention. Yeah.
I'm aware too. I'm part of the organization. And then they're in this what we call district. The American Legion has different districts. We're in the same district. I remember when they closed the American here, I didn't want to lose my years. I've been a member since 1979.
Oh, wow.
So I moved to Warren Robins. So I'm trying to get back home. You see what I'm saying? I don't abandon home. So I'm trying to get us straight on the whole.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Excuse me.
So I do have a question though.
Sure.
Maybe I'm missing it. What's the particular issue? With I understand.
Because the alcohol license was not been approved yet.
But legally though, as long as they're not selling it.
Well, you can't brown bag it. That's in the ordinance. You can't brown bag it any of the establishments.
No, I get they can't brown bag it. Like, I get the people in there can't brown bag it. But what kind of event did they have? Because I'm confused. Were they saying they're open for business and then people were coming in there with brown bags? Or was it like a private event? It wasn't private. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. I get it now.
Yes.
Okay. Because if it.
And like I said, Mr. Smith has been really good every time we've had a conversation.
Right.
So it's just that was sent. I brought it to her attention. Hey, this was sent. I haven't been able to look into it and investigate it. And she just wanted to make sure. Because, just because somebody sends a video doesn't mean that it's 100% accurate. You have to look into more things. And so there's, who was there, what was there, are we for sure that it was in the interior there? All those things would have to be looked at. So I just brought it to her attention to let you, and then she let you guys know. And that's kind of where we're at.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know that's my pet peeve. Everybody knows it's no baby.
I'll be down there next time really soon. So.
I meet you at the corner.
There you go.
Well, I spoke to Mrs. Smith in reference to that, and I think based on the conversations you said you had
Wednesday, yes, sir.
and him trying to make sure he's doing everything he can to be in compliance, I'm comfortable with it because again, he's been doing everything. He's leading and they're working. So I don't really think that if Commissioner Shepard would ever let me get to saying something, we all know I don't go to the league, but I support the folks that do go there. So
I can't wait to go.
I think that it was a long time I knew what it looked like on the inside, just because. But anyway, I'm comfortable with where we are if we go ahead with that based on that.
Any other discussion? See,
Y'all never know which item is going to be the. All right. Seeing no, Sheriff, proceed to vote. Commissioner Shepherd?
Yes.
Commissioner Owens? Yes. Commissioner Rainey?
Oh, I'm definitely yes.
There you go. All right. Now call licenses are approved. Motion carries. That brings us to our city manager report.
Thanks,
The court.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
That's right. Right.
Okay, good morning again. City Manager's Report for December 2nd, 2025. Go back just a few. Okay, we'll start off with events since the last City Commission meeting. And of course, at the November 18th meeting, we had the swearing in for Police Chief Danny Hicks. And so he's hit the ground running, and we definitely appreciate everything that he's doing. But before I move from this slide, well, let me go to the next slide because we did have the meet and greet for him the same day, 6 p.m. at the community clubhouse. But before I move forward from the selection of the new police chief as well as the meet and greet, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the interim police chief, Connie Sampson. She brought over 40 years of law enforcement experience to the city. It allowed her the opportunity to assist me with an assessment of the police department as well as serve as the interim because we had two internal candidates who applied for the position. But in my conversation with employees and with Chief Sampson, the employees, they have really appreciated her being on board. And I had several of them ask me or say to me that they would like to keep both. And I said, well, no, we cannot. We cannot. We could not keep both. And so, but I do want to thank you, and I know we'll be meeting again just to formalize and complete the process, the assessment process, and then Chief Hicks.
So I just wanted to tell you thank you as well. One of the little things that when all this took place, I'd call her and say, hey, Chief, it's Chief. And we would start laughing. But she served a great purpose here. She is a wealth of information. Everybody in the department loves her. She was always available. I can't thank you enough. And we'll be lifelong friends. I've got two up at UGA, so when I'm up there, I told her that I'm coming to eat dinner or we're going out somewhere. She said, come on. So, but she did I appreciate y'all bringing her on. She's been great. And like I always tell her, don't blow smoke. And that is all true. Not just because she's in the same room, and we certainly appreciate her.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to say a few words?
Just want to say the 10 weeks went by real quick. I think we got an awful lot done in the 10 weeks. I want to say that I appreciate the confidence you had in me, Ms. Red. I kept coming up with reasons that she, this might not be the best fit, and she convinced me that it was, and it really was. I've made a bunch of personal and professional friends here. Provided a roadmap, and I'll get you the final report with about 40 concerns and items that we can go forward with here at the police department. Everybody in the town was so friendly. I would go to Walmart and everybody would like speak, and they all knew me before I knew them. Anyway, a real good experience personally and professionally, and the next time I'm headed south, to Florida, I'll stop by Cordele and say hey to everybody and see all the progress that has been made. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. And thank you again. Continuing with the
A question about that. Sorry. Thank you so much for coming and serving here and doing that job for us as well. Everybody has a Walmart story. Who's not from here, of course. So I was at the National League of Cities, and I forgot to ask Chief Hicks. But the question is, do we use CTED or CPTED, crime prevention through environmental design, to help like businesses or homeowners? It was something that was buzzing and very popular. But basically the purpose was to modify the physical environment to reduce opportunities for crime.
So yes, that's one of the things I spoke about. So when I went to Austin, 2 years ago, we went to the National League of Cities in Austin, spent a week there. And that was one of the things that, we discussed. So as far as your environmental design, lighting, and that goes with zoning, everything, how the houses are put, where the windows are, all that will certainly be as a team effort, like we have, spoke about, where everybody's got a part on and making sure that environment's right. But absolutely, I'm familiar with what you're talking about. That was a great week that I had out in Austin when I went. And that was put on by the National League of Cities.
Do we have that in place right now?
No, it is not in place right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry, forgot to ask that question earlier.
Sure.
There is a paper that Chief Hurd had identified dark areas throughout the city. I'll have to go dig up my email, but he had emailed me potential problem areas because we were asking about the city being dark, and we light up all the corners and everything, but there were some other areas of concern that he had that I think he emailed that to all of us.
Well, I think that email came from me when we went out there and gave that to him. So my idea on that is to let's go identify what's not working and then get those replaced, and then additional lighting come to city manager and you guys to light those areas up. But let's get what's fixed, what's already there, and get those bulbs replaced, and then let's get additional lighting if we can.
Yeah, because at one point in time, I had asked for the officers when they're on shift, especially night shift, to look and see the lights that were out so we can report those to the Power Commission. And then, of course, we installed additional lighting in the back parking lot here because of dark areas. So, all right. Thank you. All right, continuing on with the report. Just a recap of the events. For Thanksgiving, of course, there were various opportunities for Thanksgiving giveaways. I know the concerned citizens had their distribution. The community of Cordele, they had an event on the day of Thanksgiving, as well as several other organizations. So a lot of organizations and agencies stepped up to help the community for Thanksgiving, and we appreciate that. We had a ribbon cutting, AMM Boutique ribbon cutting on November 25th, and our Vice Chairman Rainey brought greetings and remarks from the city of Cordele. And AMM is located in the little plaza behind Zaxby's, or next to Zaxby's, across from Home Depot. And they have a lot of nice items in there for those who love to shop. Upcoming events, of course, on December 4th, Dr. Robert Scott, the new president at Albany State University, will have a community roundtable discussion at 10 a.m. at the university. With the holiday season, Sam Shortline will be running the holiday train this year, and the dates and times are on the flyer, or you can call Sam Shortline or visit their website for additional information. On this coming Thursday at 4 p.m., we will have the annual Christmas parade at 6 o'clock. The parade will go from City Hall to the Community Clubhouse on 7th Street. But then also, last year we started an event at the Community Clubhouse for the Christmas tree lighting and award ceremony. There are 5 categories: best float, best theme, best marching group, best youth group, and I know I'm missing one, but we have judges that are set up, and they stop and perform for the judges, and then once we start the event at the Community Clubhouse, then those trophies are awarded to those who the judges feel deserve an award. And so again, if you have time, I know it's on a Thursday night, but please stop by the Community Clubhouse so you can definitely see who the award winners are from the parade. A couple of more activities in terms of assistance for the community. We still have the Georgia Diaper Distribution Program, and then the 2025-2026 Heat and Energy Assistance Program is coming online with scheduling to open for the elderly on Thursday, December 9th at 9 a.m. And additional information is on the flyer, and we'll make sure we get that information out to the community as well. Different Christmas events are upcoming for assistance, or providing assistance to the community, and we will make sure these flyers are available as well. Santa's Helpers, Dean Thaxton, LLC. If you need assistance with Christmas gifts for young children, the information is here that you can text your information to them. And also Lake Blackshear will hold a breakfast with Santa, and this will benefit the Adopted Angel program as well as the one that we have that we're doing here at City Hall, and then the holiday toy ride will also benefit the community with the Adopted Angel event. And so various opportunities to provide new toys for those who are in need in the community. On Monday, December 8th, we will have another community cafe at Clara Scott Homes at 6 p.m. And so those are always fun and entertaining. And so again, that is Monday, December 8th at 6 p.m. And then on December 11th, we will have our faith-based ministers meeting, 9:30 a.m. at the Community Clubhouse. Just a reminder that today is election day. We have a municipal runoff voting. The polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we have the at-large seat, Ward 2, Ward 3. And again, that is today, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Additional upcoming meetings. We have a Propel meeting on Thursday, December the 4th at Albany State University. The Board of Zoning Appeals meeting, we've heard about that one. Also on December 4th, 10 a.m. here in the courtroom. The next Community Clubhouse Coordination meeting will be held on Monday, December the 8th, 10 a.m. here in the courtroom. And then we have scheduled dates for the Tax Digest public hearings. The first date is December 10th, 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. And of course, we are required to have 3 public hearings. And the last public hearing will be held on December 16th, which is a meeting day for the City Commission at 9 a.m. And that information has been sent to the newspaper for publication and should appear in the paper tomorrow, December 3rd, as well as next Wednesday, December 10th. In terms of city updates, December 16th is the last meeting of the year, so hopefully we will have all alcohol license renewals on the agenda, because if not, then those who have not renewed their alcohol license, of course, the deadline is they expire December 31st, but also we have to are required to report non-renewals to the state. And so hopefully we know of some that we have not received any information from them yet, but just would like to remind them that they have to come in and be fingerprinted, so we do want them to allow ample time for their information to be processed. In terms of business license renewals, those letters have been sent out. Business licenses expire at the end of the year, but they have a grace period until April 1st. So hopefully we will have those coming in as well. In terms of the drive-through window, now we're at the stage where the new window can be installed. So we are making progress. So once the window has been installed, there's a strip outside that we are required to install, and then hopefully we'll have it up and running before the end of the year. In terms of the land bank, you have information at your seat, because I know there have been questions that have been asked regarding the land bank. And Tommy, would you like to just kind of discuss what they have at their seat?
Where the land bank continue to exist without the participation of the county in this code section that says it cannot. It explicitly says no municipal corporation may maintain the existence of a land bank if the county in which the municipal corporation is located withdraws from the land bank. So hopefully that answers that question.
And so with the land bank, again, it was organized before this administration, or some in this administration, and it consisted of elected officials. But typically, a land bank will include community leaders, government representatives, professionals from sectors like real estate, law, and finance. And so, again, in terms of the organization, it was not structured the way a typical land bank is structured. And so I think that was number one. And so we didn't have the right players at the table. Also, when I came on board, we started having land bank meetings monthly, because the last one, I don't remember the year it was held, but we started having monthly meetings. But also, the land bank was completely funded by the city. And then, of course, this governing authority deeded 3 properties to the land bank, one which has been sold, and I think, have they closed on that one? Okay, but that one is, we have a buyer for that one. And so for the remaining properties, I had a discussion with Tommy, because we will need to have those quick claim back to the city with the land bank being dissolved. And then, of course, the land bank presented an opportunity for taxes to be eliminated. There's city, county, and school board taxes, but unless my memory fails me, I do not remember having all of the players in terms of those that can help eliminate taxes at the table. Am I correct? I know Vice Chairman Rainey and Commissioner Owens, you all are on the authority. I don't remember the other players coming to the table in terms of the taxes for discussion.
I mean, if you're referring to
the school board,
the school board has approved it, but they did not have a representative for the land bank.
Okay.
I mean, but yes, it went through the approval of all 3 governing bodies, but no representation.
Okay.
Based upon how it was drawn up.
Okay. Good. So, but the city attorney and I, we've been in conversation, because there is a meeting that is required of the authority, if I'm correct, to, I guess, dissolve, the land bank. So we know the county has said they want to opt out of it. Have you received anything from their attorney? Not yet. Okay, but a meeting is required for the authority to take official action. So we'll get together. Right, to convey the property back to the city. So, all right. Okay. All right, and then the last item that I have is an action item. It's not on the report, but you do have the renewal rate sheet in front of you for the insurance, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, and as was stated earlier, it is a significant reduction in the amount of premiums, and so I would like to ask for a motion to approve the renewal at a reduction.
Motion, do you have a motion and a second to approve the, reduction of the, health care renewal?
Make a motion that we renew with, Blue Cross Blue Shield as presented.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that we, approve, the motion as presented. All right, open for discussion, any discussion? And we agree that would be about a 10% reduction.
Yes.
Based on, current numbers, so it's,
I mean, do we have an idea of that? That's gotta be substantial.
It is.
Substantial, like maybe $100,000+.
I know it would be at least 100, plus thousand. I don't have the exact amount because the premiums vary from month to month. Employees come, employees go. But I think the highest one I remember reviewing was maybe 193,000 for 1 month, and so it kind of averages out 193. It just depends, but it. Mm-hmm. It is significant.
It'd be significant. That'd be in all the departments' lives.
Oh yes, it would be
savings on our budget.
Right.
Yeah.
Saying no, shall proceed to vote. Commissioner Owens?
Yes.
Rainey?
Yes.
Shepherd?
Yes.
All right, the motion carried, it is approved. I do have a question for the city manager. We have 3 vacancies in, the city executive, I believe. What 3 vacancies are that?
Those are the IT manager, which we had interviews, and we're offering. We're going to offer the position to one of those that we interviewed. Assistant city clerk, and then assistant city manager. And so, those are the 3 positions. And, well, I'll save it for.
I think one of the things is, I think with the assistant city manager thing, I think we need to look at a different option there. Now, until we see a little bit clearer. What's the capacity right now for as far as like IT goes? Is anything falling behind IT because we don't have a particular person manager right now?
When there are a lot of things, and Brett can help out with this, but InterDev, they have like I would say a bird's, a view up here. Whereas with the IT manager, that person would be responsible for troubleshooting.
On the ground.
Right, troubleshooting. And then in terms of, if you remember, I presented information where we had to pay a group of, a person to come in and set up the 31 computers. That's something that Bobby was working on at the time. And then there's some other issues, I would say, like with email and different things like that. This person, the IT person, would handle the needs of the employees in terms of if there's a problem with the printer. You get a lot of, I turned on my computer, nothing is working, or my printer isn't working. Anything else you can think of, Brett?
It's really your first line of support, that tier 1 support, but also the position, the way you fashioned it. There's a lot of responsibilities, like things that could be configured for more efficient operations or more secure operations. That person would and could do those things.
And it would definitely reduce the number of tickets that are being submitted right now to enter there, because we do not have a person in that capacity.
And then my next question is the budget. Where are we with the budget?
Where we are with the budget, if you all remember, we held public meetings. It was published in the newspaper. We had one public meeting, and then we had a public hearing at a meeting, and then at that particular meeting, the budget was not approved. I think it was a 2-1 vote. And so I've went back and made the changes in terms of, I did confirm that we did pay off $585,000 in debt. And so that number went from 198 down to 242,000 plus in terms of what is needed from fund balance. And then, of course, there were other discussions regarding E911, because that would take whatever is approved or discussed in terms of E911. That will we would need to take that into account with the budget. And of course, when the budget is approved, it can always be amended throughout the year as needed. But then, from my understanding, and Marcia, she's put together some information too in terms of employees. But from my understanding, in terms of bring it back before the city commission for a vote, it would require 4 votes to bring it back because it was not approved. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, ma'am, there is another option. That person who voted against it could motion for it. And
Okay.
bring it back.
Okay. So those are the options.
4 or
One.
whoever voted against it
Okay.
could make a motion to adopt the budget.
Okay.
Can you repeat that for me again, City Attorney?
Yes, sir. If a matter is voted on and defeated, the member who voted against the matter may make a motion for reconsideration. Number 2, if the matter was not voted on or tabled, it shall not be placed on the agenda after the affirmative vote of 4 commissioners. I think for the city manager, it was voted on.
It was.
That person who voted against it could make a motion to adopt the budget.
So here's the thing. No one voted against it. It was only Commissioner Shepherd and Commissioner Rainey here, and I didn't vote for it.
Sorry, I thought it was 2-1.
It was not.
It failed because it was 2-1. Commissioner Owens had stepped out of the room, and so Commissioner Shepherd and Commissioner Rainey voted yay, and the chairman voted nay.
So.
It doesn't appear that the ordinance you adopted fits that circumstance.
Right, exactly. However, the most prudent way that it could be put on, I know it would take 2, is the ordinance, which a lot of places do pass their budget by an ordinance, I believe.
Well, we passed it by an ordinance too, right? And it was on that agenda.
No, it was a resolution.
It should have been an ordinance.
Our budget been passed by resolutions. I remember because I always had a problem with it being that way. In particular, my interest, I won't get into the weeds.
Cities and counties do it both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a resolution because I always had a problem with that language. I would have you. So technically, it can go back on the agenda as an ordinance. Because that specific language
We do that.
was not
That's
on
what
the
the
agenda.
commission desires.
Yeah,
We can do that.
as an ordinance, rather than a resolution. Is that can be a loophole, right?
You're always looking for loopholes, but.
Always loopholes. That's right.
Yeah,
You can do
but it can be approved with both, but yeah, we can bring it back.
You can always,
But then I will send out the information because, like I said, and it was published for, 2 public hearings. We had both, and then, it was not, I just say approved because the vote was 2-1. So we'll send back out, what we have now.
Discussion. With our circumstances, we have to have 2 readings. When we do adopt it by ordinance, when you amend it, it'll have to be by ordinance. Because it require 2 readings.
Right.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So have to plan ahead.
Now, are we required, because again, with the change, are we required to, do we need to publicize it again?
I don't think so. I believe you've done all the public notice things.
Okay.
It passed. I would put it on the agenda.
Okay, so we do not need, I just want to make sure that we don't have to, publish it in the paper again.
The only thing I would say, that we, at this rate, I think we're gonna pass it just to get it passed, but, I do think there's room and time to do some adjustments there, yes, sir. And I'll leave it at that. I don't think my eyes can stay open much longer. But yeah, but I was just curious to know where we go from here, basically. Any other questions for our city manager?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. City attorney, how you doing?
I'm feeling good today, Mr. Chairman.
Good.
I don't have anything to say.
Okay, good to have you back after the last.
Appreciate your patience in my absence.
Oh, no worries. Yes, ma'am.
For the city manager, you said we'll be lighting the tree, after the parade, it's already looking.
I know.
And thank you all for the new decorations. The city is looking well. Oh, it's brightened up. I came through one night, I was dark. If anybody knows besides me?
Oh, I had it.
Okay. Oh, okay, you signed.
Oh. See, I told you my eyes. I'm just sleep, sir.
You're
I was like, I
welcome.
have it.
Last year there was a mix-up as well. We tried to keep it off, but once they flipped the switch, cause I rolled through and I just said, okay, it's on.
Everything looks well though.
We'll relight it.
You're right, we'll relight it.
They were just testing it out. It's okay.
That's the your life, fellow.
Thank you all so much.
You're welcome, and thank you all.
Whole city, I went on 16th, I went on all the streets with the lights up, it was good.
Yeah, they're working hard. Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Then thanks to Public Works.
Yes.
Especially thanks to Public Works.
No, who's this other company though? Is that I see a lot of companies working on like electric stuff and other things. That is not all Public Works. They've been on about every corner.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's DOT.
Okay, cause I was getting
No.
to
No, it's not DOT. It's like a company working on like the lights and the Yeah.
No, it could be DOT, it's just that they use
They just contract.
right.
They use them
Okay, like that.
Right. Just like the
It's on
one
the
on
street.
I think
It's on
it
the
is
state
because
road.
that's
Right.
a little bit Third Street. Okay.
yeah, just like the one on Third Street,
I
we
think
use,
that's what that is.
yeah, they contract some of the work out.
Okay. Good. We're ringing with a lot of stuff. Who is that? Okay. Well, any announcement from the commission? All right, seeing none. Do we have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting?
Come on.
It's been properly moved and second that we're adjourning this meeting right at 11 o'clock. All in favor, let it be known by virtual aye.
Aye.
Aye.